Prepare yourselves for a battle of epic proportions between two titans. Feast upon their voices and revel in their words. This is Dueling Ogres.
Hello, Ogres, and welcome to episode 208. Thank you for joining us, as always, on this rueful Wednesday evening, Earth date February 17th, 2021. I'm your host, Remington Hitchcock, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Brandon Full. Say hello, Brandon.
Hi, I'm Brandon Full, and I just want you to know that I'm not a cat.
I see what
Topical.
you did there. That's real good. That's topical. I'm here,
I'm making
Judge.
jokes for the young kids.
I'm here, Judge, and I'm ready. I want to let you know I'm not a cat.
You
Yes,
went a little Don Knotts on that.
I did. Judge, I'm here and I'm ready. I just want to let you know that I'm not a cat. Well, Barn, I can tell that you're not a cat.
The greatest thing about that video is the giant cat eyes that like keep looking to the side, like where he's trying to figure it out. That's the part that gets me.
The greatest thing about my rendition is that you were doing a thing for the kids, and then I took it all the way back to the fucking 40s or whatever.
Yeah.
Black and white television, kids. It's
We
a
have
wave
some
of the
older
future.
listeners who are like, I get that.
Yeah, see, we service everybody sexually. What?
Especially if you give to our Patreon.
I was just going to let that one swing in the wind because I was taking a hit off of my...
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you were there. I mean, Truncate Silence is going to get rid of that anyway.
It's true. Well, unless I
That
leave it
long,
in.
awkward pause.
You got to leave
So
in the
to the
long, awkward
listeners,
pauses.
It
No,
was mere
there-
seconds.
It was, well, seconds would still be a lot for a podcast.
It was mere milliseconds.
There you go.
Centiseconds.
Centipedes.
Perfect. Another stellar opening.
Yeah, it was.
Just
How are you,
naming
man?
bugs.
How are
I'm
you?
good. I'm good. Tired. We're recording late tonight.
We are.
No, not late. It's 9:30, but it's later than we usually record.
It is. And you're usually in bed by 10 and asleep by 5.
I've been sleeping a lot differently lately. I've been trying to get to sleep earlier, so I fall asleep by like 10.
Oh, that's not
and
too
then
bad.
sleeping till like and then sleeping till like 6. So I'm still getting an 8-hour day in. I just wake up a lot earlier now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all that's been going on with me, sleeping.
Just sleeping like a cat.
I've been playing a game that's on Xbox Game Pass called Dragon Quest 11, and then some long Japanese name after it. I don't remember. Echoes or Elusive or something.
Right.
But it's pretty good. It's got me hooked in. I was sick last week and the week before. I thought I had COVID, as you know, so I went and got tested twice.
Right, yeah.
And tested negative both times. So it turns out I just had a sinus infection and an ear infection.
Hey, I'll take it. It's better than having COVID.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm feeling tip-top shape now.
Feeling finer than a dandelion in a field of prickers. I don't know. I got nothing over here.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say bachelor buttons.
You said Dragon Quest, and my head went to Dragon Age for some reason. I was going to ask if it was connected to Dragon Age.
No, it's its own thing. I mean, it's about as Japanese of a Japanese RPG as you can get. Very outlandish. Very, you're the hero and you're the only one that can save the world. Which I guess is a typical story for everything. So I don't know what I'm saying. I think part of it
which I guess is, you know, it's the story for everything. So I don't even know what I'm saying.
I don't even know anymore. But I'm playing the game with English subtitles and the original Japanese voices, so that's probably why it feels more Japanesey too.
Yeah, probably. That's cool, though. I mean, you're not using just dub. Does it have a dub on it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. Are you learning any
Yeah,
new
I like it.
Japanese words?
No, I'm not doing it to try to learn Japanese or anything. I just wanted to hear it with the original voice actors. And I always
Yeah.
read the subtitles anyway, so it's not a huge deal.
Right.
Any game I play, subtitles get turned on as soon as I can possibly turn them on.
Do you watch TV with subtitles as well?
Yeah.
Who in the fuck is tagging me and shit? I don't need to be sharing this anymore. Hold on. Let me turn
It was Larry.
that. So we have a live question in the Discord. If Ram and Brandon are recording, will you do it without pants? Because that's how I always imagine it goes down. The answer to that question, Larry, is yes.
I'm currently genuinely not wearing pants.
I will tell you that I'm not wearing pants and you can't prove otherwise.
We're one step closer to having sex.
Which is exactly what Mumphrey is hoping for. How are we
gonna talk about it on the
I was gonna say, how are we gonna manage it with being on remote? You know, we can't see each other.
That's fine. I'll just make really loud masturbation noises. I have to tell you though, whenever I masturbate, I sound like Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm. I call my dick brother.
Well, hold on, dude. That was your fucking in to go, oh yeah, back at me, and you missed it.
Damn it.
God.
I went for the perverted joke instead.
Get another cup of coffee in you, Brandon.
I'm
Shit's
drinking
about to
Dr.
get real.
Pepper and cream soda.
Dr. Pepper
so
and
that's light
cream
coffee.
soda?
Yeah, it's a mix.
It's a mix that you made?
No, it's store-bought.
Oh, okay. I know we had this discussion when I was actually over there earlier, but
You weren't listening?
Well, no, I was listening, and I knew that there was like a Dr. Pepper cream soda, but the way you said it there, I thought, oh, wait, maybe he just mixed his own?
No, I'm looking at the bottle, and it specifically says Dr. Pepper and cream soda.
So it was pre-mixed.
Yes. I've been listening to this podcast. I think I've mentioned it before on here. It's just called Video Games.
Okay.
And unfortunately, you can't download it anymore.
That's a bummer. It doesn't sound familiar, but that doesn't mean that you haven't mentioned it before. Why can you not download it anymore?
Because it came out in 2014 and they just took it off. Fortunately, I knew that it was an older podcast, so a few years ago I downloaded every episode and ripped them to my computer so I had them to listen to.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's some of the fucking funniest stuff I've ever heard in my entire life. I wish I could find the guys who did it and see what else they do, because they're good podcasters, so I know that they have to have another podcast somewhere.
I mean, maybe. You'll have to hook me up and I'll do some research and see if maybe they just quit doing it because they didn't have time to anymore.
All I have is that their names are Matt and Jeff, and a band called Math the Band does their intro for them.
Okay.
So I guess I could reach out to Math the Band.
Yeah. It was just called Video Games?
All caps with an exclamation mark at the end.
It was Matt and Jeff?
Yeah.
Here's the Matt and Jeff show. I mean, if it couldn't get any more generic to begin with, like the guys' names are Matt and Jeff.
Yeah.
It's just the most standard names ever.
I don't know if those were actually their names or not.
Oh. Well, then why the hell am I even trying to look them up now?
No, I mean, that's what their names are. I don't know if those are their real names or if they were using those names.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
The entire podcast is them talking about a new video game every week.
Uh-huh.
But the joke is that they know absolutely nothing about video games.
Oh, so it's kind of like our podcast.
Yeah.
Where we talk about a whole bunch of shit that we don't know anything about.
Have you seen the new Marvel movie? No, me either. Let's talk
about it. And let's steal shit from Rhett and Link, too. Let's talk about that.
Clink it and sink it.
Dink it and sink it, but close enough.
I've got my beard.
Yeah, I also have
Link,
a beard.
I guess.
Yeah, you're definitely Link. You're a much more disheveled Link. And I'm a much
homeless Link.
And I'm a much heavier Rhett. Much heavier.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10?
Some might say obesely heavier.
Some might say that, but not I.
Well, you're a good friend, Brandon. I mean,
I'm like if Link really let himself go. Like he ate too many of those hamburgers they always have on there and cereal, because I think he's a cereal guy.
Yeah, he is. You're a cereal guy. Oh my god, you are. Link?
So what have you been up to? Anything?
B version Link?
D-grade celebrity Link?
Children's party show Link?
I feel like even D-grade is being polite to
us. Maybe.
Is there an L grade?
I don't know. I don't want to jump straight to Z, though. I don't want to jump straight to Z, though. I think we're better than that.
Yeah, I'd say L grade. We're L grade celebrities. We have a Discord with upwards of 10 people in it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had a 4-day weekend, to answer your question. There was enough. We got an ice snow storm. There wasn't a ton of snow behind it, but there was a lot of ice. And so most everybody else who works at the store lives far enough away or back in the country enough that it would be like kind of dangerous to ask them to come in. So the boss was just like, fuck it, we're going to close the store today.
Hell yeah.
So
what'd you do with your 4-day weekend?
So, well, that's what I was going to say. So I started off having a 2-day weekend because I asked for, like, our job isn't difficult per se, but I'm not keeping up with my exercises and I'm not in as good a shape as I could be. And throwing boxes around all day gets tough and my body just doesn't like me.
Yeah.
So I asked the boss.
Got good taste.
I asked the boss. I was like, just like once a month or something. Like, I'm not super picky. It's not like a requirement or anything that I'm asking for, but I'd just like to have 2 days off in a row because one day isn't really enough for my body to kind of come back from, a day of throwing shit around.
Mm-hmm.
So that was what this week was going to be. That was my 2-day weekend. So I would have been off Sunday because we're not open Sundays. Would have worked Monday and then Tuesday and Wednesday would have been off.
Okay.
So then we got the snow day turned into a 4-day weekend. I have done mostly research. I have been looking into a lot of different things. I actually did some work for work. I had a flyer and a business card to design for somebody, so I got that done. I mean, it was like an hour's worth of work tops. But really, I've been kind of researching using Elementor, which is a site builder, because I kind of want to use it to update Dueling Ogres completely and give it a whole new skin. I don't figure it's going to change a lot. I'm just trying to reduce the number of plugins that I'm using and reduce the loading time and just giving it something fresher. So the colors and stuff are still probably going to stay very similar. I really like that build. I think it's easy on the eyes. If anybody disagrees with me, I'll fight them. But I like the idea of Dueling Ogres having this kind of earth tone color scheme that's just kind of homey and inviting. And like I said, it's not hard on my eyes.
Yeah. And you have notoriously hard eyes.
I do. What do you feel? Like, what are your feelings on it? Because I'm the one who usually ends up just doing this stuff, and most of the time, I'll ask your opinion, but you don't have like an integrated input on it, I would say.
Yeah, I like the website. The only thing that I don't like is I feel like the font looks a lot like Comic Sans.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with Comic Sans.
See, whenever I was on AIM and ICQ, I would use Comic Sans as my text. And so I'm disappointed to know that Comic Sans is now viewed as like a terrible font.
Me too. That's it. That's all I had.
And that's Comic Sans Minute.
And that's Comic Sans Minute.
We could do a segment called Font Talk.
Don't even tease me with a good time. Everything I love about design.
Yeah, as soon as I said it, I was like, he's going to jump all over this.
I'm going to be on that like white on rice with a glass of milk on a paper plate in a snowstorm.
You're a man who loves a good font.
I am. I do.
Would you say you like hamburgers or hot dogs better?
Hamburgers. Not a thought. Don't get me wrong.
Cheeseburgers?
Yes, cheeseburgers specifically. I really love a good chili dog. But to be perfectly honest, most of the time a hot dog will give me heartburn faster than a burger will.
Yeah. Now,
that being said, when it comes to things that I enjoy better from a gas station, hot dog wins every time.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're at a Speedway, you better give me one of those fucking sausage motherfuckers that they had.
Ugh, see, I don't like those. They make me sick.
Oh, God, I loved them. Cover them in that old-ass hot chili and shitty-ass nacho cheese.
Yeah, that chili is always clearly hours and hours old when you get it.
Oh, yeah, it's just sitting in a warmer, man. It's just sitting in a warmer, and, like, you push the button to squirt it out, and people have their, like, wiener right up under top of it, because that's how words work. And they're, like, rubbing their wiener across it, and it's getting chili all up in the gears and stuff. And so 4 hours later, when you come to get yours in, it's just gooey and gross and sticky mess.
Just covered in wiener goo.
Yeah, I don't even care, though. I mean, if they're doing their job, they're keeping it clean, but let's be real here.
Yeah, they're not doing their job. If you're eating from a gas station, though, you have to temper your expectations.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. Sometimes if I'm feeling really adventurous, I'll do chili on the bottom, a layer of cheese, put the sausage in. I'll do a cross section, I guess, or a zigzag pattern of listen, you started something. Oh my God, what are condiments? Ketchup and mustard, and then I'll squeeze a Miracle Whip packet on top of it. Listen, if the good Lord is going to give me a heart attack, he better do it soon.
You're just tempting him. You're spitting in the face of God.
Bring it on, you son of a bitch.
As you're squeezing out mustard, the people at the gas station are just looking at you like, sir, can we help you with anything?
No, I'm fine. I got this. You don't want to be party to this. If you value your souls. Why did I turn into an angry Danny DeVito, too?
Yeah, I was wondering where that accent came from.
I've been pulling half
souls.
If you value your souls. I've been pulling half accents all evening, weirdly enough. I don't know why.
What would you say? This podcast is going to be all over the place, and I'm fine with that. It's late night dueling ogres.
I was all like, okay, so real quick, I went to Brandon's to hook him up with Hardline, some Cat 5, because he thinks his Wi-Fi is going out on his computer. And I was like, well, you've got a proper computer, so you should have a fucking Hardline anyway, you noob. I didn't say that, but that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what was in your head.
So I went over and I made him some Cat 5, and we hung out for a few minutes, and it was nice. It was good to see my friend again in real life. We didn't touch each other. I wore a mask.
I was wearing pants even.
He put them on before I came in.
I did. Well, I was wearing my pajama pants, but I didn't want to look like I'd been sleeping, so I put my jeans on.
But I knew you were sleeping.
Well, it's all about keeping up appearances, Remington.
All right, valid point. Where was I going with that?
I don't remember. Oh, about how we were going to do a quick episode, probably.
Oh yeah.
In and out, couple stories.
Yeah, so I says to him, I says, Brandon, Brandon, I'll get home, I'll make some dinner for the lady and I, or for the partner and I. This is the 21st century. I gotta keep it, on the straight and narrow. For the partner and and I then we'll watch a little show, and then I'll come up and I'll look up some stories, and then we'll just bang it out. We'll just get in, we'll get out. It'll be like a ghost. It'll be like a man with a small penis, and nobody will know what happened.
You didn't say any of that stuff to me, really.
I didn't really, but here we are, 25 minutes in, and we haven't even got to our first story.
What would you say your best accent is?
I don't know. That's so subjective. What would you say my best accent is?
Your Dwarven Scottish.
Yeah. What would you say the one that makes you laugh the most is?
Probably your Dwarven Scottish, honestly. And it all comes back to one of my campaigns where I had introduced a character named Lucky Bert, who was like a fur magnate. Is it magnate?
Yes, it's magnate.
Okay, not a fur magnet. Although
that threw me off for a little bit, or for a minute. I was just like, wait, I don't remember this fucking NPC at all.
You're like, you got really esoteric with it. This sounds like some Black Void stuff.
Yeah, right? That was nice.
Yeah. But you were grilling him about something, and you kept saying, Bert, in your Scottish accent, and it cracked me up every time. Like you were saying it like a disappointed father to his son.
I do remember that, yes. Bert. Come on, Bert. Bert, don't you lie to me, Bert. You do it. Bert,
that was
I can tell.
That was the same character that I introduced, and Kevin was playing with us, and I said, his name is Lucky Bert, and Kevin was so incredulous, and he goes, his name is Lucky Bert? And I was like, yeah, it is, actually, Kevin. It is Lucky Bert.
It's a stupid name. Where'd you get that from, the name store?
You should return it.
Get all your monies back from it, even the taxes.
Oh, God. I think this is my favorite episode we've ever done. We should just do them super late at night like this.
Yeah.
All the time.
Constantly.
I'm much more relaxed, I think, because of the amount of psych medication I take before this.
Yeah, there you go. I should
just start abusing pills.
No, Brandon. No.
Damn, I really went down the wrong path on that one, huh?
I had but even before that, let me make actual sentences out of that. Hold on. I went to work real quick to get my paycheck, and I work in Marietta, so I swinged.
Swung. I don't think swang is a word. Is it? Yeah, it is. He swung at the ball.
Yeah.
He swung at the ball.
He had swung. Anyway, the grammar is not important. I went to the bank, cashed my check, and then drove back to the Giant Eagle, which is in the little plaza where I work, and got a couple of things for Ginger. I was thirsty. I bought a Mountain Dew Zero, and while I was standing there waiting for the girl to finish checking out the person in front of me, I was looking at the candy bars because I was a little bit hungry as well, and I was like, I don't really want chocolate, but it's what's in front of me, so...
Yeah.
And then something caught my eye, a little owl in a very plain kind of brown package, and it was a caramel-filled chocolate bar, which is one of my favorite things.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody who has kids or who has had kids come up and sell you those chocolate bar kits, that have like 4 different flavors of chocolate bar in it.
Oh, yeah.
There's usually like a milk chocolate and a Crunch Bar knockoff, and then caramel-filled chocolate one, and oh my god, every time. It is the favorite of everybody, and every time they come around, they never have one for me, so... But it is my favorite of all time. So I bought this chocolate bar, and I saw that it had caffeine in it. 1 bar is equal to 1 cup of coffee, apparently, which has 110 grams of caffeine.
So how you feeling? How did the bar treat you?
So I ate it in about 30 seconds. And,
Naturally, you turned it into an espresso.
I mean, yeah, exactly, right? You're supposed to sip on a coffee a little bit. It's too hot to drink immediately or whatever. I don't know if there's 110 grams of caffeine in an average cup of coffee or not. I feel like there's not as much. I'm kind of curious now. Much caffeine is in an average cup of coffee? 95 milligrams.
Oh, okay, so this had more than a cup of coffee.
So it had a little bit more than the average 8-ounce cup of coffee. Of course, if you're like us, you like a 10 or a 12, 10 or a 14-ounce cup of coffee. But I digress.
Yeah, and 2 or 3 or 4 cups of it.
If you eat it fast or drink it fast, and you haven't had much other caffeine today, I say it did a pretty good job of waking me up.
Are you still feeling it?
I don't know if it's the caffeine or if it's just because I'm talking about it like it's a placebo effect.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep the energy going for the podcast.
Yeah, harness that energy. Fucking go crazy. That's what I'm doing. I'm moving my arms up and down right now.
Yeah. But it's a
I'm moving
podcast,
them
so
like
nobody can see it.
Like a wavy inflatable arm man is what I'm doing right now.
A wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man?
Yes.
Let me call Al Harrington.
Family Guy joke.
Haha,
People
first
love
season.
those.
Yeah. Let's get to a story, Brandon. Tell me something about the things that you read about. Segue.
A perfect segue, too. So a hacker accessed the computer system for the water treatment facility in Oldsmar, Florida on February 5th at 8 a.m. and again at 1:30 p.m.
Okay. And what did they do with said hack?
So water treatment plants, as you know, put in all kinds of different chemicals into the water for different reasons to like purify the water or fluoride and stuff like that. Well, they put in something called sodium hydroxide, which is lye. And the hacker went to raise the levels from about 100 parts per million to 11,100 parts per million.
Oh my God.
So they were trying to kill people.
Yeah, that's incredibly deadly. Well, I don't know how deadly it is, but it's definitely like deadly levels, I would assume.
I would assume so, yeah. That's a lot of lye. I mean, lye is what you use when you're melting bodies and stuff, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, it is, but lye was also used in early soap making.
Yeah. So it burns. I think there's that scene in Fight Club where they put lye on his hand.
Yeah. It is a metal hydroxide traditionally obtained by leaching wood ashes or a strong alkali which is highly soluble in water, producing caustic-based solutions. It is dangerous because it can burn the skin and damage the eyes in dry or wet form. It also releases fumes when mixed with water that can harm the lungs. If swallowed, it will burn the esophagus and can cause death.
Yeah, that's crazy. So a hacker was straight up trying to kill people. And it's crazy that you can get into water treatment plants like that and adjust the levels.
Yeah, it is crazy. And it's weird too. Like, I'm trying to phrase this thought process because it's a little disjointed.
Okay.
It makes you kind of question the need for automation versus just having people do the work. Or at the very least having a closed loop system. Like a system like that, especially where they're using chemicals to treat the water to make it safer for people to consume, shouldn't really be on a network grid that's not contained,
Yeah, that was my thinking too. That somebody can just hack into it and adjust the levels. Fortunately, in the story, an operator noticed the hacker moving his computer mouse
Geez. So it was a straight up
straight into the computer.
yeah, straight up desktop takeover.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they managed to stop it before the actual process started, and it put
dangerous
lie
amounts of
into
lie.
the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, from what I read, Oldsmar, Florida is very close to where the Super Bowl was going to take place.
Uh-huh.
So they could have been trying to poison the water to hit all the people going to the Super Bowl because the water is shared.
Wait, when was this? Because the Super Bowl already happened.
This was February 5th.
Okay.
So it was before the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's not the most recent story, Remington. Thanks for calling me out on it.
Well, I just, the way you said it, I was like, wait, Brandon, I know that we're nerds, but the Super Bowl happened.
The Super Bowl happened and the 49ers beat the Lakers.
Spot on.
The Harlem Globetrotters made a mockery of the sport once again. Do basketball fans love the Harlem Globetrotters or do they hate them?
I don't know. You'd have to ask a basketball fan.
I was wondering because they do make a mockery of the sport. They're like jumping over each other's heads and climbing up on their shoulders to score dunks.
I mean, those are all exhibition matches. Like, they're not real and they're not supposed to be. It's like it's showing off the kind of fun things you can do with basketball. And they're all really talented athletes who get on to those teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I would equate it to wrestling.
Okay.
Pro wrestling, where it's like you know the outcome, but you go in and you show off your athleticism and you make the things happen, so you put on a good show.
See, I wonder if they do know the outcome. Or I wonder if they go in and the basketball team that's not the Harlem Globetrotters decides that they're going to try to actually beat the Harlem Globetrotters, and the Globetrotters just show them up.
Sometimes, I think, every once in a while, I imagine that, the whole idea is that the Globetrotters are supposed to win with their zany antics. But I think there may be some stories out there where at some point a team like brought the real game, and the Globetrotters were like, all right, if you want to play it this way. It's kind of like Bruce Lee and a stuntman calling him out and saying, your kung fu is no good. You're just a movie star kung fu actor.
Did that happen?
Yes, that is a real thing that happened. So
wasn't Bruce Lee like top of his form though?
Oh yeah. So Bruce called this guy down and he said, okay, if you want to see if my kung fu is real, let's see if my kung fu is real. And he thoroughly whooped the guy. And the story
I had a feeling.
And the story goes that he was in good spirit about it. He paid for the stuntman to go to the hospital.
Jesus.
And paid the hospital bill.
So he beat the guy to the point that he needed to go to the hospital?
Well, yeah. I mean, that is another thing that Bruce was really well known for, is everybody on the crew he always treated with respect, and was always even and especially with the stuntmen and stuff, because at that time in China, stuntman life was dangerous. Like, you were risking your life for your craft. And
yeah,
that's still a thing that happens with stunt people. I mean, if we remember the one lady who was doing the motorbike stunt, she ended up passing away because the stunt went wrong.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Was that Captain America? Or not Captain America, shit.
Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel?
Maybe?
Or was that a different one? I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was a comic book movie. Either way, it's definitely something that still happens. But I mean, these guys were they were putting their bodies through absolute hell. There was not necessarily the protective gear that they have now. Now they have body armor and stuff that they'll wear underneath to take a hit, to take a fall. I mean, sometimes you just got to take a hit, but there are ways to keep yourself from being damaged too bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, back in that day, like, and it was a thing where you had to like show your manliness. Like Jackie Chan talks about his stunt days where it was just it was a pissing contest. Like he recounts a few times where he did a stunt that easily, if he misrotated while falling in the air, would have landed on his neck and killed him.
Jesus.
If I remember what it was, he was on a second story balcony and he had to flip backward off of it and hit the ground. And I think he did it. And it was one full take of it. And I think he was not supposed to hit his feet. I think he was supposed to, hit and kind of roll. And he fell over backwards, which is a blind fall, and hit his feet. And the director was like, "Cut, you're good, blah blah blah." And he's like, "Oh, let me do it again. Let me do it again." So I mean, that was the kind of pissing contest, because if you had to, it doesn't matter that you did it flawlessly. It wasn't exactly what they were needing.
Yeah.
So you put your life on the line again to go back up and take the hit again.
Being a stuntman would be a cool job, but like you said, very demanding.
Yeah. I watch Corridor Digital. For those of you who are kind of into YouTube, they've been making YouTube skits for years. They have another channel called Corridor Crew, which is kind of behind the scenes, and they do some other shows on that channel. And one of them is Stuntmen React, or is it called Stuntmen React? Maybe.
I'm not sure. I've never seen it.
They have stuntmen on there that are talking about, they look at these old stunts from different movies, or they look at these stunts from different movies and older movies, but you can see the reverence that some of these stuntmen and women have in their faces when they're watching like people that they know or people that they idolize in the stunt world, and watching them work, and you can see this like reverence of like, my God, it's beautiful what they're doing and so fucking dangerous. And it's like, damn.
Maybe I'll become a stunt person.
Maybe. You do you, man.
I would have to do very specialized stunts, like eat an entire $5 Taco Bell box.
Start slow. Yeah. Work your way up.
Work my way up to an Arby's 2 for $6. I had
Yeah.
an Arby's 2 for $6 today, and I ate both sandwiches.
Proud of you. What was the
I don't
story
know
that we
why
were
I'm
talking
fat.
about?
The hacking of the water plant. I think we talked about that enough.
We did. I just went way out. Way off of there. I'm
Stuntman.
sorry. I'm pretty sure at some point I had a point of what I was talking about, but you brought up Harlem Globetrotters, and then we talked about
it was
how
a whole trip that we took.
It was a whole meandering trip we took.
We went on vacation together.
We did. That's funny. All right, let's get this shit show back on the road. You said you told me that you had a couple of different hacking stories, didn't you?
Yeah. Do you want me to just do my hacking stories?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's get this technology out of the way.
CD Projekt Red, who made The Witcher 3, Cyberpunk 2077, and some other games.
Mm-hmm.
They were hacked with ransomware on all of their servers.
Oh.
So they posted on Twitter the letter that the hacker had left for them that was basically, give us the money or we're going to release the source code to your games.
Uh-huh.
Well, they didn't pay the ransom to get the ransomware off. They said that they had backups, so they just backed up their servers that way.
Yeah.
Well, the code for Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077 went on to the dark web and sold for over $7 million.
Okay.
So somebody bought this hacked code.
I mean,
for $7 million.
What are you going to do with that? Like, what are you going to do with that source code?
That was my thinking. Like, how can you mine it? Because if you're using the specific things that CD Projekt Red used, and your game comes out and it looks similar, they can look at the code and be like, hey, this is our code.
Yeah, so here's your lawsuit.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't get why you would spend $7 million. Like, who is spending $7 million? Who has this kind of money?
Yeah, who
I know
fucking
people have
cares enough
millions of
to
dollars,
buy
but-
the source code for a fucking game like that?
Yeah.
I think that's the point that you were getting to. Why?
Yeah, the why is the biggest question for me.
I'll sell you
And
the
what do
source
you
code
think?
for. I'll sell you the source code for Dueling Ogres for $7 million. You're not going to get anywhere with that either.
I'm sure people are jumping all over that too. Ooh, they use Comic Sans.
They use the rich man's Comic Sans. Chewy from the Google fucking font library. That's
The
what
rich
font we
man's
use,
Comic
guys.
Sans. So if you want to make a Dueling Ogres fan site, use Chewy.
I have a confession to make, hackers. It's fucking WordPress.
Is WordPress shameful?
No, 60%
Like
of
in the world of websites?
No, 60% of the websites that you use every day are WordPress based usually.
Oh, okay. Is that a real percentage, or did you just pull that out of your ass?
No, that's a pretty accurate percentage. Hold on, let me double check. Let's see here. Kinsta reports that WordPress has a 60.8% market share in the CMS market. It powers 14.7% of the world's top 100 or top websites. For those of you who don't know, CMS stands for Content Management System. 40% it looks like. Hold on. Let me get
Okay.
down to the brass numbers here. So they have a 60.8% market share. 34% of all websites on the internet, period. 14.7% of the world's top websites. And 500 plus sites are building each day using WordPress, while only 60 to 80 per day are built on a platform like Shopify or Squarespace. The plugin directory features 55,000 plus plugins.
Huh.
And WooCommerce powers 22% of the top 1 million e-commerce sites in the world.
Do we use WooCommerce?
We most certainly do. We use a combination of Printful, who handles our print-on-demand services, and then WooCommerce to publish that on our website.
There's one listener who cares about this, Remington.
There's only one, but
And
hey,
it's you.
Yeah, you're right.
You're going to listen back while you edit and be like, oh, interesting.
I'm really smart.
Oh, it's me, Remington. This is what I sound like.
These are the things that I enjoy talking about. This is a good podcast.
It's so late. And my final hacking story is from the far off country of Japan, where the water flows like honey, and the women are like caramel, and the buildings are like fireflies.
What are you doing, man?
A 23-year-old man was arrested for selling hacked Pokemon from a jailbroken Switch. In Nagoyo City, Aichi Prefecture, selling for around 500 yen apiece. Allegedly, he's made roughly 1.15 million yen, or 10,000 US dollars. He was caught selling a shiny Sobble, which is my favorite Pokemon from 8th gen, to a man in Kyoto for roughly 41 US dollars. In Japan, the editing of saved data and distribution of edited data is illegal as of 2019 under the Unfair Competition Prevention Act. So yeah, 23-year-old man selling hacked Pokemon, and that's illegal in Japan. That's crazy to me.
So that's interesting. How much did you say that he was making?
He's alleged to have made around $10,000.
Wow. So a lot more than an animator makes.
Yeah.
I have a story on that. That was my lead in.
Well, I wanted to say real fast.
I was going to say, go ahead and finish your thoughts on it.
what is Japan doing that 1.15 million yen is equal to 10,000 US dollars? Like, I'm not talking about the exchange rate. I'm just talking about how their money seems so inflated to me.
It's just
You
a
know what I mean?
yeah, no, I understand. It's just a different system. I don't know. I honestly don't know anything about the system itself, but a lot of those Asian money systems just use those, like, what seem like exorbitant numbers to us.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they do it that way. I literally have no clue.
They need to do like World of Warcraft did and nerf all the numbers.
Right? I don't know if you'd call it like the system that we use is almost like a base 10 almost. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's the right terminology for it, but I'm sure
I'm going to
somebody will
pretend that
set
it
us
is.
straight. Okay. Where, like, well, it's more like a base 100 system, so like 100 pennies equals $1. So instead they just don't use that. I
I
don't
think
know.
Japan needs a nerf. That's my
Yeah.
official Brandon opinion. Japan as a country needs nerfed.
So speaking of money in Japan specifically, to any filthy weebs out there, you'll already know you'll already know that animators in Japan, especially for anime, don't usually make a lot of money, and they work in these kind of dormitories. And there is a channel on YouTube called the Animator Dormitory Channel.
Simple enough.
Yep. It is a Japanese animator. There are English subtitles that she has done. And I say she because that's the voiceover person who's doing it.
Yeah, so it's safe to assume.
Yeah. This is from she released this episode called episode 16 My Income in 2019 on January 31st. I would tell you that it is worth a watch, but only if you like very minute detail of everything. Like, I started watching it just to get to the meat and taters of it because I wanted to see what the numbers were. And she's just talking about all these little things and bits of her life, which I'm sure is very interesting, but that's not what I fucking came here for.
She did seem very long-winded.
She did. So this comes from comicbook.com, the site that is so full of ads that it'll make you pee yourself.
That is a lot of ads.
The world of anime has received controversy in the past thanks to the rigorous schedules that their animators would have to go through, and it seems, according to one animator, the salaries don't appear to match with the amount of work that is put into some of the biggest franchises in the world. On the YouTube channel, the Animator Dormitory Project, an animator was able to reveal that his fellow workers in Japan, or her, because the whole character is a female character, anyway, make far less than you might think in creating the anime worlds and characters that have struck a chord with viewers over the years within the medium. The YouTube channel made the startling declaration that animators would typically make, on average, around $670 in American currency per month, with an average of $6,700 annually for their efforts.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so an average of $670 a month, but an average of only 10 times that amount for the whole year.
So with taxes being taken out and stuff, I assume?
I guess maybe. Now, in the video, she talks about one particular month that was really rough, or one particular year where she only made $130 for the year.
For the year?
Yeah.
Wow.
And she said that she had taken some time to go back home. She said she lives out in the country, so she went back to for a few months. So she didn't work for a few months, and that's crazy. So it goes on to say, as the Animator Dormitory Project conveys in their video, They also state that these salaries are prone to big changes if the employees decide to take time off, whether that be to relax or to visit the family, which makes the overall salary that much more shocking. While we don't know for sure what this animator has worked on or which studio they have worked for, it's clear that the animators certainly don't make as much as they should when it comes to an industry that demands much from their employees. Within the video, the animators even goes into detail about how this salary simply isn't enough for many that have broken into an industry that many work hard to gain entry to. Quote, even with savings, it's hard to make ends meet like this, which is why freelancers have to factor this in when deciding which jobs to take on.
Wow, so it sounds like a thankless job for. I mean, you look at the amount of anime they're pumping out, though. It's crazy.
It really is. And they are putting out a lot, but it's, I don't know. As Americans, I guess, are so accustomed to like labor laws and stuff that are just different, I guess. And I don't know if animation is still a profession that's looked down on in Japan or not.
Was it at one point?
I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, I know that adults liking anime is, or at least was, a bit of a faux pas.
Oh, I thought anime was like accepted for all ages.
I think for the most part it is now, but 20, 30 years ago, I don't think it was.
Okay.
Article finishes off saying recently the streaming service company of Netflix revealed that they would be offering animators looking to break into the medium an opportunity to attend a class put together by Wit Studio of Attack on Titan and Vinland Saga fame, paying for their room, board, and the fees for the class itself. While this doesn't necessarily fix the problems that have been part of the anime industry for some time, they go a long way toward offering would-be animators a chance to break into the industry without worrying about financial woes for a time.
So are they just drawing individual panels over and over? Is that what they're doing there?
Yeah, man, that's animation, baby. That's how it works.
Thanks, Frank Sinatra.
That's how it works over here, kid.
Baby.
Baby.
You know, speaking of shitty pay, I was working at a job and I was told that after 6 months I would get a raise and they would bring me up to $10 an hour from where I was, which at the time would have been the most I was ever being paid at a job.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I quit one day and then the boss found me and convinced me not to quit. So even though I said I quit, he convinced me not to quit and they brought me back on.
Right.
Well, when it was time for my raise, the owner argued that because I had technically quit, it reset my 6-month period.
Yeah.
Which is shitty, I think. So fuck them. I'm not going to name them, but fuck them.
Yeah.
I'm pointing at the microphone.
Yeah.
And that's my story.
That was a good interlude, Brandon.
Thank you. You're going to have to do the stories now because the only other story I have is an entertainment news story.
Fair enough.
That we won't be able to get any sort of traction out of.
Good. So I've got a couple of show newses.
Okay.
I've got a little bit of space news. I've got some Nintendo news. I guess while we're still hanging out in Japan, I can do the Nintendo news.
Yeah, hit up the Nintendo.
So Nintendo did a 50-minute direct. What is that? Do you know what it is?
Yeah, their directs are where they show the new games coming out and the changes that they're making to current games.
Okay.
It's like their own little version of an E3.
Okay, see, I hadn't heard of it, but I figured it was something along those lines.
Yeah, they do them every couple of months.
Cool. Over a brisk 50 minutes, this is from Engadget, we got to see the newest Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters, a new Mario Golf game, and the latest project from Donut Country developer Ben Esposito, which was Neon White, a stylish first-person platform and action game about exterminating demons in a fantastical version of heaven.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. Those were joined by Fall Guys, which is heading to Switch this summer, and Famicom Detective Club, a visual novel that will make its way to the US for the first time later this year. Nintendo, however, saved the best for last, announcing Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword Remastered and Splatoon 3.
Splatoon 3. Splatoon is super popular.
It really is. I don't know why. I mean, granted, I've never played it, but it is interesting to me that it has retained its fame or its playability, I guess.
I think if it weren't Nintendo, it wouldn't have the popularity that it does. That's my postulating.
Yeah. I can understand
I think
that.
because it's a third-person shooter on Nintendo, is it third person or first person? Do you remember?
Splatoon? It's third person, I believe, kind of over the shoulder shooter.
That's what I thought, yeah. Nintendo does not have a lot of those outside of maybe Fortnite.
Yeah. Going back to the animation scene, the final season of the reboot of DuckTales is airing every Monday starting February 22nd, culminating in a 90-minute long season finale.
Which you have to be excited about, right?
No, I am still pissed off that after only 3 seasons, they're fucking bringing DuckTales to a close.
Aren't you excited that they're doing like a big goodbye, though, with a 90-minute episode?
No, I want to see more. There's so much more that they could do. And here's the fucking kicker on this. Here's what really grinds my gears, Brandon Full.
Okay.
I saw a commercial for it last night, and they're introducing Baloo, Tailspin Baloo.
Yeah.
In this last season. Like, what I don't like about it is that with such good storytelling throughout this entire series, number one, I think they could squeeze at least 2 or 3 more seasons out of it.
Oh, wow.
And still have great writing for it, and just keep it all kind of within this world. Instead of making DuckTales and then spinning off to fucking Darkwing Duck and spinning off to fucking Tailspin, let's just keep it all within this world and not have spin-off series.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that that's what they're doing. I just think that why not just have it all live within the DuckTales universe and not spin them off on separate shows.
I bet you're going to see crossover, though, with the DuckTales characters on the other shows.
If they reboot them, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's ratings or if they just have told the story that they wanted to tell. I just want more of it. I loved it so much. I loved the acting in it. It took me a hot minute to kind of get used to the art style of it. But once I was there, I mean, I was just hooked. It was so good, and I'm just upset that it's ending.
Isn't it crazy that you have such strong feelings about a DuckTales show?
Yeah, it is, because the first one, like, there's nostalgia there, but I mean, it wasn't that great, I guess.
No, I mean, it was good for sure, but it
Yeah, I
wasn't
mean, it was okay.
mind-blowing. The
And
DuckTales movie was great.
yeah, I think there's a bit of a disconnect because I'm older now. But I feel like there's considerably more storytelling in this one than there was in the old one.
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about it, but didn't I look up that the original DuckTales was like it ran for 3 seasons as well, but it was like double the episodes in a season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had
I
like
don't know.
26 episodes or something like that.
Versus like the 13 or 15 maybe that are in this one. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just upset
So
by
I
the
saw
whole
this
affair.
story. I saw this story and I read it a little bit, so I was familiar with it before you talked about it.
Uh-huh.
And I saw the artwork for it for the 90-minute series.
Mm-hmm.
Are Launchpad and the old maid dating?
No. They do
Okay,
have
because in the picture they were giving each other the eyes.
No, they have a relationship of sorts, but it's not love. There is an episode where Ginger just chimed in and did a DuckTales woo for us.
Thank you, Ginger.
There's an episode where they kind of learn to respect each other. Okay, so a little background on Mrs. Beakley, who is which is what the maid's name is. She was originally a spy for the organization of Shush, which is the
Shush.
yes, and I guess it's an acronym, but the acronym has never actually been revealed. And their biggest rivalry is with the evil organization of Fowl.
Naturally, yeah.
Uh-huh. So she originally started off as a spy. She got partnered with a dashing pickup of a younger Scrooge McDuck who was carefree and sometimes pretty chaotic, where Beakley was very by the book. And they ended up going on several missions together and learning to respect each other, and then became close friends. And Scrooge keeps her on, not just as a maid, but also kind of as a bodyguard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's actually trained in like every martial art and tactics. So
What a
she's
weird show.
yeah, it's a super weird show, but it's so good. She is the grandmother for Webby, and has grown up in Scrooge's Webby has grown up in Scrooge's mansion, being trained by Mrs. Beakley. So she is there's at one point where they introduce the berry juice from gummy bears
Yeah.
on a mission, and Webby quaffs it, and she's already trained in like martial arts and tactics herself, and she drinks it and she bounces. She's like, I could bounce. I'm like a bouncing spinning ball of death or something like that. And so anyway, where the fuck was I going with this, Brandon? God damn these late night podcasts.
I don't know.
I don't know either. We were talking about Beakley. What were we talking about Beakley for?
About Launchpad and Beakley.
Oh yeah, Launchpad and Beakley. So there's one episode. The background is that she's no nonsense, and Launchpad is about as useful as a poopy flavored lollipop. I mean, he's just as dumb as a box of stones sinking to the bottom of the ocean.
Is he a good pilot though?
No, of anybody who kind of kept their personality throughout the old version of DuckTales and the new one, it's Launchpad, or Tailspin even.
Okay.
Launchpad has consistently been a bad pilot who crashes all the time and an idiot.
All right.
I dare say he's dumber in this one than he was in the original, but that's neither here nor there. So they end up they have their own little side story where she ends up respecting Launchpad a little bit more. He kind of has that idiot insight to an emotional problem, where
Yeah.
sometimes somebody stupid will just say something so insightful. And you're just like,
So he has low intelligence but high wisdom.
yeah, he has low intelligence but high wisdom. Sure. Yeah, I'd go with that. What's that? Very high charisma, Ginger says. And one thing, I know I'm getting off on a tangent on this. I'm sorry. There's another thing that they did several times throughout, I think it was the first and maybe even the second season, when Launchpad takes them somewhere for Scrooge and the kids to do something, but he is not along for whatever mission they're on. And he's like, oh, we've landed in this exotic area. I'm going to go visit somebody else. And he has an adventure of his own that is completely off camera. So we follow Scrooge and the kids doing this awesome stuff. They come back and Launchpad's in a completely different outfit, a completely different wardrobe. He looks off camera and into the distance and says something, I'll see you next time, whoever, or
Yeah.
or I'll take care of your child. It was a little panda or something, wasn't it?
Like a little papoose.
Yeah. Which we never see again. Anyway, I'm done talking about it. The whole thing is ridiculous. I love it, and it makes me sad that it's going away.
So definitely check it out on Disney Plus.
Yes, 100%. It's good.
Do we have a Disney Plus affiliate link yet?
No, I doubt that we ever will. I don't think Disney's doing that.
You don't think Disney wants to work with us?
Oh, hell no.
So my last entertainment news story that I have, and it's a quickie.
Okay.
Stephen DeKnight, who wrote and directed Pacific Rim,
Mm-hmm.
said online that Pacific Rim 3, he was planning to have it crossover with Godzilla and King Kong,
Oh, interesting.
and that they were going to fight alongside one another.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, Pacific Rim 3 was canceled, but that would have been cool to see.
Yeah, for sure.
I've never seen the second movie, but the first one was badass. Have you seen the first Pacific Rim?
No, I haven't. I heard that it's good. It's never come across any of the things that I view.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've even seen it on TV.
You should definitely check it out sometime. It's really neat. I mean, if you want to see, it didn't get great reviews, but I just wanted to see giant robots punch kaiju, and I got exactly what I paid for,
That's all that's important, really.
which was $3 from Redbox.
I wonder if it's on Amazon Prime or something. I'll have to take a look.
Yeah, you'll have to check. If it is, you should watch it. It's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's light. It's not like a deep story or anything,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
but it's fun.
I've got a couple more. I'm going to come back to Disney news real quick. And I thought this was interesting, and I wanted to just kind of feel it out, I guess.
Okay.
So Disney releases their first Cruella trailer, starring Emma Stone. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. Is she Cruella?
She is. Hold on.
From the very beginning, I realized I saw the world differently than everyone else. That didn't sit well with some people. But I wasn't for everyone. I guess they were always scared that I'd be a psycho. But a new day brings new opportunities. And I was ready to make a statement. How does the saying go? I am woman, hear me roar. I'm just getting started, darling. The thing is, I was born brilliant, born bad, and a little bit mad. I'm Cruella.
That actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it looks. I mean, I low key love Emma Stone.
Yeah, so do I.
I don't know. I just love her. But Disney is pumping out other stuff than Marvel and Star Wars.
In what way?
They're pumping out other properties. They're making other movies and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And this Cruella is a classic character, originally introduced in 101 Dalmatians, I think.
Yeah, she was.
And she was this crazy woman whose sole goal was to kill all of the puppies and make a fucking coat out of them. So just the worst kind of person.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes you gotta have a coat, man.
Ugh, God, no, of puppies? Horrible individual.
Imagine how soft it would be, though.
The so this is I guess just an earlier rendition, like of her in her younger years.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's weird to me that it's cool. Let me make these thoughts again. I'm sorry. It's cool that they're visiting this younger version of a classic character, classic villain. How do you think it stacks up they're like Disney visiting these older properties and doing new interesting things with them while they're swimming in this Marvel Star Wars stew that they have created. Like, do these other movies stand a chance? Do you think that there's enough interest out there to make these, blockbuster hits or anything?
Oh, for sure. I mean, Disney, like a vampire, feeds on nostalgia.
Mhm.
And you look at like Maleficent.
Yeah.
Maleficent did buku bucks.
Yeah.
So Cruella is going to make a shit ton of money too. Although I don't know, with theaters not being fully open yet, it may or may not make a bunch of money. But once it gets to Disney Plus, I'm sure it'll get tons of views there too.
Well, and didn't Maleficent get going kind of either right at the very beginning of all the superhero movies and stuff? And that was even before Disney bought Marvel,
Was it?
I think.
Let me see when Maleficent was released.
And I'll look up when Disney bought Marvel.
2014. So yeah, Disney got Marvel before that because
Yeah, it was
Iron Man was
2000.
released in like 2007.
Yeah, and it was 2009 when they bought Marvel for
Oh,
4
okay.
billion. Okay, so I guess that's true. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm looking at it from the nerd perspective of being more involved in the Marvel universe and the Star Wars universe, even though I'm not up to date on my movies and stuff, but that's just what I'm interested in. Maybe that's why I feel like it's weird to see these visitations. I don't know.
No, I totally agree. But you look at like Maleficent, like I mentioned, or The Lion King or Aladdin, they're
Mhm.
making a bunch of money off of these old properties. I don't know if they're making Marvel MCU money, but they're making enough money to justify pumping them out still.
That's true. Fair enough. I to me, I guess it struck me as a little weird. I'm still excited to see it though. That apart from my love for Emma Stone, just the movie looks beautiful already.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, it looks really interesting. And they shared on their Twitter, they shared, here's your first look at Emma Stone as Cruella DeVille in Disney's Cruella. I've always struggled saying Cruella.
Cruella.
Cruella. The film, also starring Emma Thompson, Paul Walter Hauser, and Joel Fry, comes to theaters on May 28th, 2021. And it's a picture of her holding 3 Dalmatians on leashes. And then can't make out who that actor is, but there's a portly fellow on a early period motorcycle and some kind of more mysterious fellow in the background.
Sounds like it'll be a good movie.
So, Emma Stone said in 2019 that the film has a punk rock vibe and is set in London in the 1970s, according to Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah, for sure. In other news, Netflix is opening up an Addams Family based series, a spinoff that is going to focus on Wednesday. It's titled Wednesday, in fact. It is going to be directed by Tim Burton.
Okay.
And apparently, Addams Family fans are wanting to have Christina Ricci come back as Wednesday.
That would be great. I think she made a very good Wednesday. And I had such a crush on her when I was a kid and I saw that movie.
Yeah, for sure. It was good. I don't know if you remember, but there was a YouTube series before YouTube series actually became a thing, of a creator who did an adult Wednesday, living in the everyday world and just kind of being weird. Because she did, if I remember correctly, because she didn't actually have the rights to use it, they issued a cease and desist, and she had to take all of it down.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I remember watching it and waiting for the next, short that she was going to put out because it was really good as well.
No, I haven't heard of that, but
Yeah.
I don't know why you have to go after fans for fan projects.
I don't know either. And that was during that weird time where like fan projects were kind of up in the air about, if it's fair use or if it's, something like that.
Yeah.
It was pretty clear what she was doing, so I guess they had, they certainly had the right to offer a to issue a cease and desist.
Oh, for sure. But should they have? That's an entirely different question.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of how I feel about it as well. Well, I had a couple of space news stories, but I'm going to skip them. They're cool, but they're not worth talking about now that we've already gone an hour 40.
Yeah, we've gone a while.
We have, and there's been, I could probably cut a good 20, maybe 30 minutes off of this just from some stutters and just some weird stuff that happened, but there should be some good outtakes, I think.
Yeah, I say leave it all in.
I leave it all in. I'll just release it raw.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm
even
not
the pee
that.
breaks.
That would drive me nuts. I'd never be able to sleep.
Yeah, it would keep you up for sure.
But that being said, if you have any questions or comments or you'd like to hear yourself on air, you can call us at 978 DU-OGRES. That's 978-386-4737. You can also reach us on Twitter at Dueling Ogres, email us at duelingogres@gmail.com, or leave a comment on the Facebook page like these nice people brand to go.
We had one comment this week from the Viscount Terry W. Irvin II, who said, good episode, a couple things that stood out. Remington stating he is agnostic with respect to the existence of Bigfoot. And then he says, funniest part. And he quotes, I'm not going to read it, but he quotes an interaction between you and Bucky. So if you want to read that, listen to last week's episode or go to our Facebook page for last week's episode and view Terry's comment, and you can see the little snippet of our conversation that we had there that he set aside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I saw somebody comment somewhere else on something, but I guess I can't find it. I'm also terrible at pulling them from anywhere else other than Facebook. What can I say?
What are you going to do?
I suck.
No, you don't, buddy.
So make sure to subscribe. Oh, thanks, man. Make sure to subscribe on our website at duelingogres.com for new shows and articles pertaining to some of your favorite geek news. Head on over to our YouTube. We are now up to 95 likes.
Ooh.
Or 95 subscriptions, I guess. Which, in the world of YouTube, is not that much.
No.
But we've also...
But still, it's better.
Yeah, it is. I think we were sitting at... we had been setting at 94 subscribers for a while. Somebody popped over and gave a sub, which was really nice. Our views are up. Watch time is up a little bit. We started releasing... I'm doing it slowly, I know. I'd like to do it faster. But we started releasing our Dungeons and Dragons episodes that we've been recording in the Discord to YouTube. And I mean, it's pretty simple. I'm not going to lie. There's not I think in the latest one, we actually put everybody else's face on there.
Okay.
But for not on this latest one that was released, but the latest one that we recorded. So what has been released is part 3 of Stand for the Fire Demon, but we have all the way out to like part 9 recorded, 8 or 9.
Oh,
it's
wow.
It's really kind of slow for me to get to them.
Well, when you have 3-hour episodes, it takes a while to edit too.
It does. It takes a while to edit. It takes a while to render. I mean, I don't have the worst computer in the world, but it's starting to date itself. I have a 1050 Ti graphics card and an i5 processor. So either way, so if you're interested in any kind of Dungeons and Dragons content, come on over and check us out. We have a pretty good time.
Yeah, it's fun.
Leave that subscribe. Ring the bell if you're feeling interested.
Do all of the things.
And finally, be sure to leave a 5-star review on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, now Pandora.
Yeah.
And one that I forgot to mention, that I may have mentioned before, but I don't remember. We're available on Audible as well, because Audible integrated podcasts into it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you can look up Dueling Ogres. I'm not going to lie. I had a little trouble finding it on like a mobile app, and I don't know if that's still the case.
Okay. So don't do Audible if you can help it. I have a feeling Audible.
No.
I have a feeling Audible is not people's first choice for podcast listening anyway.
It's probably not, but I don't mind that they're kind of branching it out. I mean, it fits.
Yeah, it's still cool that it's on there.
It's cool that, I mean, it's, Audible is audiobooks. Why not have audio podcasts as well? I think it makes sense anyway.
Yeah.
But if you don't have Audible, I think I still have a thing where you can get a 30-day free trial, or maybe it's a 10-day free trial for going on and doing it. I'll leave a link down in the section below, and if you sign up, we'll get a little kickback.
Hell yeah, do that. Kick us
everything's
back
all right
constantly.
with that. Let's see here. Access the Audible Plus catalog. Unlimited listening to select audiobooks, Audible Originals, podcasts, and more. So there's a choose an Audible plan below that's right for you. Oh, so it looks like they're updating. There's an Audible Plus where you get access to the Audible Plus catalog, which is what I just read off. You don't get 1 credit of your choice per month, and you don't get exclusive discounts. But if you get Premium Plus, you get a credit that you can use on any book. I would suggest checking out Terry W. Irvin.
Yeah. The second.
Yep, because we've had him on the podcast several times. Or the Reverend Diamond Man Stephen Hines. Because I think, didn't he release his memoir as an audiobook? And is it on Audible?
I don't know if it's on Audible, but he did release it as an audiobook.
Actually, Brandon, I can confirm as I look at the Audible app now that Rebirth Defect is available on Audible.
Yeah, so check that out too.
Yeah, for sure. You also get exclusive discounts, 30% off additional premium selection titles, plus access to exclusive sales. So now I kind of want to see. There's a review on our Audible site. Did I write this one? That is the question that we should ask.
Yeah. Unlistenable.
Fucking garbage. So it looks like you can search it. It shows up. Oh, yeah, here it is. Buy Dueling Ogres on 2/6/2021. The only podcast I listen to, the only podcast I listen to, and I'm not just saying that because I'm the editor and host. Seriously, though, I hope you all enjoyed the show. Please leave a review and we'll read it live on air. If it's nice. We have very soft and squishy feelings. So, yeah, I left our own first review on Audible.
Nice.
But you can head on over there if you use Audible a lot. Check us out and leave us a review as well.
Yeah, jump on over there. Do it. Leave a review. Sorry.
You pulled a me there for a second.
I know, seriously.
Yes, do all those things that Brandon said. Just find us somewhere and leave us a review, and I'll try to find it and read it for you. Or call us, man. Call us. We haven't had a call in a while. I might start playing old calls again just so I can stir up some shit for people. Get on out there.
Don't make him do that.
Don't
make him start playing old calls.
Don't make me play old calls, people. Now, see, what's funny is that I'll get a notification that we got one, and I'll click on it to listen to it, and it automatically downloads it to my phone. So then it's just sitting in my media files. So when I'm listening to the music that I have on my phone, I'll randomly hear Stephen Hines come in with a call that he had like 2 years ago, or the real Fat Tony like last year sometime when he just screamed into his phone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this is a good episode, Brandon.
I think it was.
It's going to be the best one yet.
It's going to be in the top 10.
Top 10. So until next week, Ogres, keep your clubs blunt.
And your tusks sharp. Good night. Stop fucking with things.
I'm not fucking with anything, Brennan. Wow, why is
Shut
it
up.
coming through 4 of them? Oh, that's probably why. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Good. Um.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
We can't do any more, Brandon. We'll get hit with copyrights.
No.
All right. So yeah, last time was 207, and it was ad hoc. This time it's what was it?
Rueful.
Rueful. Okay. Here we go.
All right. Differently lately. I've been trying to get to sleep earlier, so I fall asleep by like 10. You son of a bitch.
Listen, it's on recording, so I can cut that out.
Oh. So it's just me calling you a son of a bitch for no reason?
Yep. Now it'll make it into the outtakes.
Perfect. So, water treatments plant, fuck me in the face.
Brandon talks, take 2.
Do you want another hacking story, or do you want to jump in with
What the fuck? Jesus Christ, sorry.
to get your taxes?
All right, hold on.
So do you want another hacking story?
I was going to say, let me give you a lead in. Yeah, it is. It really is. And I had to take a drink. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just laughing at this entire episode. Yeah, it is.
You caught me mid-suck, so I haven't made any thoughts.
Not the first time I've caught you mid-suck, Remington.